Hi, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I posted a video and I still haven't finished my VR superhero series, but I haven't had a lot of time. I got 4 kids and they're all growing. They all have activities. We've just been super busy, but there's a big sale going on right now for end of the year 2021 on the Unity Asset Store, and there's hundreds of pages of assets that are up to 50% off. And some folks have reached out and like, Philip, what would you recommend I get? So I decided, hey, I'll tell you some of the ones that I have that I use on a regular basis. I'm not going to break down a bunch of different ones and say, hey, what's good, what's not. I'm just going to take the time, hopefully enough time, to show you all the assets that I use on a regular basis that I feel like is definitely worth a purchase. And we're looking at my favorite one probably out of all of them, well, except for maybe Playmaker. If it wasn't for Hutong's game Playmaker, that is also 50% off. Check the description. I'll put an affiliate link if you want to support the channel. I believe that one's 50% off on the end of the year sale now too, which if it wasn't for Playmaker, I wouldn't be a game developer at all. But this is an art asset. I am not an artist. I really struggle whenever I have to manually add any art to my game. And I have so many ideas. I'm always in so much of a rush. I just want to get the game going, start programming, get things done. I love this low poly ultimate pack by Polyperfect. One thing I really love about this pack is it's constantly growing. As they add more to it, I think they also incrementally increase the price. So get it now while you can, because more and more, I'm sure, will continue to be added to this pack. And you want to make sure that you get it at its great rate right now. If you're watching this video and there's not a sale going on, last I checked, I think the everyday price for this is like 80 bucks. Still totally worth it. Right now on my screen, you're only even seeing a small part of what all that they have. But I'm going to just point out a few things that I'm using on a regular basis. One is, let's just jump over to the terrains over here. Okay, so these terrains are pretty cool. As you can see, you can rotate them, lock them together, and they meet up. I've used these terrains in my disc golf game that I made for the Oculus Go that I never really got published.
This is our third-person character controller. All right, a little jog through the forest. Bam! I'm sprinting now. Woo! It's exciting. Jump, jump, jump.
And I just want to show you the poly count on some of these. Because sometimes you can get low poly assets that technically are still low poly, but they're not as low poly as you want. Especially if you're developing for lower end mobile, or in my case, I was developing for the Oculus Go, and Oculus required the camera to see less than 100,000 tries at a time. Maybe verts, same thing, isn't it? No, tries. It was tries. We'll just unmaximize this. I have this item highlighted. I'm just going to click on the mesh there, and then that'll highlight it in my project. Click the mesh there. And as you can see, this one only has 50 tries. Okay, not bad, although it's fairly simple. Here's one that's got a little bit concave in, so maybe you want to put some water in it. It could be like a pond or something else. And so if we go ahead and take the terrain plain lake, you can see only 88 tries in that. Like here's water, and click on that water one. 200 tries in that, but still pretty low poly. I mean, if we wanted to, we can grab this, move it over. You can kind of see how that could be turned into a lake or a pond or something. They also have ones, terrain pieces that are the same, but with just a little bit more depth, right? So if we come over here to the ones, let's see, what was that? Let's move that guy back over. This one was, how many tries? 88. Okay, very, very low. If you get into where it's more solidified, all right, if we want to look at the more solidified one, 168. Still, very low poly. It's a great option. I love rotating these around, piecing them together. And they have it laid out in this demo scene to where you can kind of see how they could all touch together. They have a nice road system. I think I used their roads in my disc golf game as well. You know what? No, I don't think I did. I think I was using Cinti Studios ones. So you can see like there's some railways. If there's vehicles, there's dinosaurs. I was looking at on the Unity Asset Store. I mean, there's dinosaurs on the 50% off sale that are like normally 10 bucks. I think they're like half off. But look, you get all these animals included in this one. So you're getting a lot of great stuff in here. They're not rigged. Rigging these wouldn't be incredibly difficult. Actually, I used, with very little knowledge about rigging and animating, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I actually rigged this dog to chase one of my characters in my disc golf game. And that was quite fun. Searching on Google for how dogs walk and then trying to animate all the bones and stuff. Houses. One I used on my trick or treat game is I used their houses. So you can see they have some prefab houses here. They have some houses prefabbed and pre-built. They also have the house pieces. So if you wanted to do like the Sims style game where people could build their own houses, they have all the components separated. But I want to take you in and show you kind of what I used, like the from this pack, what I used some of their houses for in my Trick or Treat game. So all these houses are from the Low Poly Ultimate Pack by, I said their name earlier, by Polyperfect. But one cool thing that I did is they do have an emissive texture that they included in their pack. So that was nice because I wanted these windows to be lit up because this is a nighttime scene with some fog. So if I turn on everything, you can kind of see. Oh, that's why I played earlier. All right, so there you can see my modern style houses are using like white LED colors on the windows, and then my traditional houses, they're using more of a yellow Halloweeny color, more incandescent color light coming out of them. And so how did I do that on the windows? Because they don't come pre-built as emissive. Well, it was real easy. I want to get into a blank scene before I show you that. So here in the Polyperfect folder, they have M's and T's. So I thought M meant mobile. It does not. M stands for materials. T stands for textures. It's the same prefabs in both folders, but the T folder, it has all the game objects are using texture atlases. So that allows them to have, so they have one material per game object, and the faces are texture atlased onto a texture. With the material version, it makes it a little bit easier for someone to change the color of different parts of a game object, but you're going to lose a little bit of performance because it's got to load multiple materials. For example, if I come in here to the material, prefabs, buildings, building house, block. Let's see what this one is. All right, so you can see in this version, every single color in this prefab has a different material. So if you wanted to change the color of the roof, it could be as simple as just swapping out the material of the roof. But for mobile, you don't really want that. You want to be using texture atlases. So I can find the same one, building house block, but find it in the T folder, prefabs, buildings, building house block. I think it was this one. All right. So this one only has the low poly colors material on it. And as you can see, it's got a texture atlas. And one thing that was nice, even though it wasn't on the prefab, is Polyperfect also provided this little emission material or this emission texture. So what I was able to do is on the material of the low poly colors material is the emission was empty, I believe. I don't think it was on the material by default, but I was able to take that emission and put it on there. Maybe it was on by default. And so then what I could do, thanks to ProBuilder, and if you don't know how to get ProBuilder, you go to Window, Package Manager, and it opened up on my other screen. And you want to search by Unity Registry, I think. What's taking you so long? Yeah, Unity Registry. And then you can just search ProBuilder and add ProBuilder to your package, which in a nutshell, it's almost like having a 3D modeling tool built into Unity. All right, and so what I did, if I can get that to go away, so what I did is I ProBuilderized my this house from Polyperfect. Okay, and what I did was I switched to face selection. I highlighted all the faces on the windows. All right, and so I had one of those faces selected, and then I would go to UV Editor. And I just needed to make sure that I had those faces on the emissive part of the atlas. Now, you can see the main atlas here, the albedo. It's got all the colors, and then the emissive one, it's only got these bottom few colors down here. So you want to make sure that you look at the atlas and know which ones are emissive. So I just had to look at it carefully side by side and saw that it's this white all the way through this dark blue, I think. And it also includes this light blue and this purple. And so what I did is for all the houses that I wanted to have this traditional yellow color, I put in this little orangish yellow square. And then my modern houses I have in this white square. And that's what made my windows look like the houses were lit up. And it looks really cool in the VR headset and everything. All right, so that's the low poly ultimate pack from Polyperfect. If you want to support the channel, click the description. I'll put a link not only to the 50% off or to the end of the year Unity sale, but also put a link directly to the low poly ultimate pack. So if you're interested in getting it, use that link in the description. It'll help support the channel. I really love this pack. I've been able to do a lot of fun stuff with it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate that. And put in the comments what you'd like me to talk about next. Otherwise, in the meantime, I'm going to be talking about some of my other favorite assets by the end of the year. See you next episode.